That's right, guys. I actually have to dispel this rumor. We're going to start our Hoops Myth number one. So this is number one, October, what is it, the 18th? 2 days before tip-off. And the myth that I want to dispel for you is this idea about training camp that I'm seeing on the news. Literally, sports writers are saying this. I'm seeing it all over fan content. I'm seeing it on Facebook posts, all sorts of things, that it was a sign that Bonga was going to win out the job from Wainwright, and that one of the cookie crumbs, the clues, was that Wainwright was getting less minutes than Bonga. Decker made the team and barely played in training camp. I want to dispel this rumor. And we can be sure of one thing. The coaching staff and the upper brass have got us the best players for our team for this year. And the lessons learned from last year over here that I'm noting is that we're not going to be testing things out to the same extent in the NBA as we were previously. And if you don't understand that, go and watch the videos about the 905 that I've been making and these E10 contracts. What I do want you to look at, though, is this idea that the favored player gets more minutes in training camp on the floor. It's the opposite. And I've got a comment from a post today that I want to bring up to kind of illustrate this. This is from Still A Real Facts. And it says this: facts. Now Blake, he means Blake Murphy, broke down everything. I think Decker and Bonga were killing Wainwright in practice. That may be true, but this part's not. This is not accurate. Nobody found it strange that Nurse wouldn't give minutes to a guy who was compared to PJ Tucker. That's his dream player right there. Perry came in after him and started getting more minutes than him right away, as did Bonga. The man hardly touched the floor, meaning Wainwright, in preseason. Either he was getting outplayed or he was a locker room issue. Neither of those two things are true about Wainwright. In the end, the Raptors felt like Bonga was the better player to take on the roster. That part's true. But that doesn't mean he was necessarily getting outplayed. It just means Bonga really impressed. What is definitely true is this part. When you're selecting a competitive team via tryouts, the guys who have the inside track on the jobs actually play less minutes in training camp. That's truth. That's why Kyle Lowry doesn't go to training camp. That's why Vince Carter doesn't play minutes in training camp. That's why Chris Bosh didn't play minutes in training camp once he was beyond rookie status. The guys that are a lock for the team don't play for jobs. And as I say here, this is because you need a closer look at the dark horses in long shots, not the guys you think are already going to make it. I firmly believe, and even the contracts the players were offered support this, that Yuta, Decker, and Wainwright always had the inside track going into training camp. And not only that, the dates to which we went and signed Wainwright and Decker. They were the first things we did. We knew we needed these bench players, and we poached them quickly from the European pro leagues. These are veteran journeyman people. And the lesson we learned last year was that you do not want to fill your roster with crapshoots like freaking Aaron Baines. Bonga simply played his way onto the roster. This is a fantastic thing for Raptors fans, especially the fact that he fits our kind of long arm monster scenario, right? You give the Bongas and Perrys that come to training camp way more minutes because you need to see them in action more, and not because you're favoring them going into training camp. You use them to light a fire under the asses of the Wainwrights and the Deckers, okay? And if they really pan out and they impress you, then they make the team. I, for one, thought it would be Wainwright for the reasons I'm saying right now, because I've run training camps with other coaches, and other coaches have explained to me how to run a proper training camp using players like Bonga. So you have your guys, your guys and your girls that you think are going to make the team, but you bring in some dark horses that you think are on the cusp, and they make your regular guys play harder to earn their spot, but they also sometimes they surprise you and you end up finding this like gem, like a Bonga. So expect great things from Bonga. But what we don't want is rookies at the end of our bench that can't contribute if somebody gets injured. We don't want that. And we don't want to get attached to players. So as I say here, fans often get attached and don't think about the end goal. I will forever love DeMar DeRozan, but where would we be as an organization, as Raptors fans, if we didn't package them up, compartmentalize our feelings and send them down south, we never would win that championship. It takes blood, it takes sweat, and yes, it takes tears sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's all about the Larrys, guys. Don't forget about our jersey challenge. I got 5 to give away. The instructions are in the video on the website in the playlist. If you don't understand what we're doing with the Raptors 905 and all these E10 contracts, please check out the videos. We are ahead of the curve on my channel on explaining these issues. And yeah, guys, have a great day. Kawhi, can you keep it down? I don't need you playing Fortnite over there while I'm trying to make a video.
I don't even know where you're sitting at.
That's bullshit, Kawhi. Your laugh is
This
stupid.
is Chef's Kiss approved. Mwah!